5 days exactly that my father was buried here on the holiest Jewish burial grounds in the world. Mount of Olives mentioned in the Bible, the place where those who were buried here will be resurrected first with Mashiach, overlooking the holiest place on earth, the Temple Mount. And I remember it like it was yesterday, because first of all, there were very strict COVID rules. Only 50 people could be here, even 40. The police were watching to make sure we didn't know. And I was conducting my own father's funeral. My daughter Chana was right next to me. She came with me from the States. Mendy came with me from the States. My son Mendy is now in Middle East, standing right next to me. And they were crying terribly, and I had to cut my brothers and sisters' shirts. And then I had to get all the people to speak, and then I had to speak myself. And I don't write my speeches, but I wrote this speech. I wrote it on the plane. Even the plane ride was so odd. Can you imagine in the middle of COVID, the flight attendants wouldn't give you your meal. They'd like throw it at you. They didn't want to get near you. Everyone's wearing masks. Every second they're screaming at you. Wear a mask. There's like 10 people on the plane. And so I used all that time to write the speech. And what I wanted to communicate more than anything else is how much my father loved Israel. And how he taught me to be a proud Jew. More than anything else, when I think about my father, I think about a fearless man. My father knew no fear. It was quite remarkable. He didn't fear anything. He didn't fear the police. He didn't fear his fellow man. He didn't fear terrorists. He didn't fear anti-Semites. He didn't fear peer pressure. He lived without fear. I used to joke with my kids that never in history has one man lived caring less about what his fellow man thought of him than my father. The only thing that my father feared in life was he feared God alone. He feared none but God alone. And he tried to instill that within me. So when I wrote I was just with my very dear friend Ron Dermer, Israel's Minister of Strategic Affairs. He lost his mother 3 weeks ago, and he was showing me how he was playing with the words on the shloshim. He's got 1 week left to put the matzeva. What you put on a gravestone is forever, right? So it's very delicate. So what I wanted to communicate is, first of all, my father's origins. But this was his favorite biblical verse, and those who believe in God will always be surrounded by grace. I love that word, grace, chesed. And he used to quote it all the time, and that's our family's last name, Boteach. So, Ponik Bahir Ber Yoav Boteach, and I love my father's first name. My father's first name is a warrior. Yoav conquered all of this. My son Mendy, who was a warrior scholar, wrote the most beautiful essay about how Yoav, everything he did for King David, including refusing to forgive those who rejected David's kingship, which even David castigated him for. But he still would never forgive anyone who insulted the king of Israel, David, who was his uncle. His son of Ezra, who brought the Jewish people back to Israel after the destruction of the first temple from Persia, and Eshrat. Eshrat is the Persian name.